Hi, this is the 9th tutorial on HTML2 WordPress. In this screencast, we will be finishing up with our WordPress template by customizing the comments.php file. Okay, so let us start by comparing our current WordPress template comment section. That's not it. With the one in our demo layout. So this is the blog.html file within our demo layout section. And so you can see that there's clearly lots of things we need to style within our current version. So let us get started. First, we should open up the comments.php file within our practice theme folder. And at the side here, I've also opened up the blog.html file within our demo layout folder. And now do the usual things in the package name, remove starter, and then replace it with our practice theme. Good. Now the next section here is code that WordPress put in order to prevent unauthorized access to the comment section. So just leave all of those be, and we are starting to edit in this section here. And so in this area, this bunch of code generates the comments depending on whether there's any comments included within this post. And if there is, we start by using this h3 tag and displaying how many type of responses we have, which is, if we look at our blog.html's the actual layout itself, you can see this is the exact same thing. So we have h3 with an ID of comments. Yeah, we have that. And then this display 3 responses. Good. And then after that, in starters theme, you can see that there's this title, display of the title information to the comment section, but we don't really need that in our theme, so let's just get rid of that and then save it. So, and then also the next thing is that there's also links to the previous sets of comments and the next set of comments, and we don't really need this up at the top, so because it repeats again after the list of comments. So let's just get rid of that and hit save. Now let's take a look at what the changes we made to it does. So you can see here that now we have 3 responses. Good. And then we move right on into our list of comments. So going back to a code, let's compare the two. So you can see we have an ordered list with a class of comment list. Good. It's the same on both. And then if you start a WordPress generated function in order to list out all of our comments. Okay, so why don't we leave that for now and come back to styling it a little bit later. And then after that, we have a set of comments links to go to the previous comments and the next set of comments. And you can see here, this right now generates this little dashed line, which isn't that nice to look at. So let us fix that. So the easiest way to fix this is to reuse what we have in terms of the navigation links from the, let's say, the index.php page. So this is used, again, just to recap, to display the previous post and next post links within one of our main pages. So we can use a similar kind of styling for our posts. I mean, not our posts, but our comment links. So starting here, let's just get started. So we have a div tag with a class name of navigation. And then after that, we have another div with the class of aligned left. Followed by, you can see here, we've included the previous post links, where in this case, we are replacing it with the previous comments link, like that. And then after that, end it with a non-breaking space, followed by the closing div tag. And then we can get rid of this separator bar. And then we move on to the second class, div with the class name of aligned right. And then again we have the next link, and we should close this up with a non-breaking space and closing the div. And then finally, we close off the whole navigation class. Save that. Now this is the same as what we have here. And refresh the page. You notice that the divider bar is now gone, and if there has been more comments within this section, the next and previous links will show up. Okay, now moving on, we have the form. So as you can see here, the leave a reply button, it's correct, but the rest of the form itself is not. So we can see here that our labels should be located above our input boxes, which currently it sits on to the left hand side. So let's fix that. If we scroll down here, this is still the comment stuff. We get to right here. In terms of the div, we have an ID of response. This section is where the comments form exists in. So you can, okay, let's just open blog.html again to look at what the section for the comments form look like. So scrolling down. Okay, so our form is here. Instead of having a div, they put the ID of response within the h3 tag. So why don't we do that? Get rid of this div, and then within the h3 itself, put in the ID of response. And then since we removed the div up top, we should remove the closing div. Okay, save that. Now next, you can see that we move on to the form tag. Where's our form tag? Actually, before the form tag, you have this cancel comment reply link. We can just leave that in for now. And then there's also a line to check to see whether you're logged in or logged out. Again, we're leaving that be. And then after that, we are starting the form tag. In the action, it goes to post to the URL, which is correct, and the post method is fine. The ID of comment form, which is the same as what we have here. So this is good. Now we're moving below this set of statements. Just check to see whether the users log in or not. And if it's logged in, you have no need to put the name and email address and website information because it should be within your account. But if in case you're not logged in, then these items will show up, and we need to style them to follow what we used previously in terms of having the label up top in front of the input boxes. So the input boxes, the form input boxes starts here. So you can see the label resides below all of that. So just take that label out, cut it, and then put it above like that, which is essentially what we have here for the name. There's also the small tag for the name, and we don't really need that, so let's just remove that. And then it's probably a good idea for us to put a break BR tag here, so if anybody do not have CSS, the form will still be styled correctly with the label appearing above the input box. So now hit save, and let's just load it to see what this looks like. Perfect. So now we have the name label locating above our input box, which is what we have here. Now the next thing we need to do is to fix the width of this box because the input box right now is too narrow. So going back to our code, you can see that in here we have the input ID of name, and whereas in this case the ID is called author. So let's go in and change this from author to name, save that, and then go back to our page and refresh, and you notice that the length of the box is fixed.